You had a cancer scare?
Yes. Damn. I didn't know that. Yeah. So recently, I had found like, you know, a lump in my breast like last year and didn't really think anything of it because I'm young and like, you know, but my grandmother had breast cancer a few years ago and she survived, but she had to have surgery and everything. And so with COVID happening, it was really hard to get into doctors because like everybody was kind of like not getting back to you. Things were busy, COVID. So like everything was kind of put off, and then eventually got kind of worse and I had to go get like testing and stuff. And it was pretty scary because like, I mean, I walked into this cancer center and it's like I'm the youngest one there and it's like all these old ladies, you know, and like mammograms and ultrasounds and all those things. And then it's weeks in between finding out results. So it's never just like, yeah, you'll know right now. And then did a biopsy and it was really like, it put a lot of things into perspective because like you start thinking about like, okay, what would I do if something happens? And I think I just kept going into it like whatever happens, happens. Because like worrying about it isn't going to make it go away. And like if it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. And I got my biopsy back and it was benign. So still might have to have like surgery to get the tumor out. But like that was like a huge relief. For weeks, I kind of like self-isolated and kind of didn't do as much music and kind of went away from my friends because I tend to just like self-isolate. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but yeah, that was really scary. And a month before that, finding out that I had done CPR on a little girl in my neighborhood and saved her life. It was like back-to-back things that were very life-altering and like made me really thankful for life. Like I think a lot of us don't realize how much of a gift it is to be here. Like, yeah, life is gonna be shitty sometimes. Like it's gonna be hard. But like roller coasters aren't fun if there's no ups and downs. Like if it's just doing this, it's not really gonna so it made me really thankful, and I think it just put a lot of things into perspective and about taking better care of my health and just doing whatever I can to be like to just go for things. I really just after that I was like, always go time. Like there's nothing stopping me. Like life is too short. Like we could all just be gone tomorrow. So, you know, Thanos could pop up today and snap us all away. So yeah, that was a scary situation though. And when I told my guy friends like in Sadar, I kind of like texted them and I was like, hey guys, they're like half of them were like, you didn't even tell us. I'm like, I know, like I like to go through things privately, which is like might as well go through them privately now because I feel like when you get in the limelight, everything is everyone's business. So it's like it's kind of nice to go through these things now where it's like I can not have everyone know about it. But I am trying to be more open about those things because I do tend to be a little closed off about like my personal life. I keep like my music and then like you don't know anything about me. I'm like, the Scorpio in me is so secretive, but yeah, it's nice letting people in to things like this. Thanks for bringing that up.
Well, are you building a support group for yourself?
Yeah, you know, like, so since when me and my ex-husband broke up, like, it was really hard because when you're with somebody for 7+ years, like, especially got together so young, you know, that was my entire youth. So, my whole life was about him and his friends and his job. And so when you're like, oh, what do I do now? And, finding friends of your own and like the music, the arts, I want to say arts in general here in Vegas the arts community has really like made me find so many amazing friends and people. And I feel like I have a great support group between like my very close friends that I've always had. I'm lucky to have like 6 people I've known for 15+ years. So that's really awesome. And then my newer friends for my music and Sadar we're like one big, they're just like all my brothers. They're all really annoying. Can't stand all of you bitches. But they're really great. Like they really just make me feel like I can be more myself. They've actually taught me how to be more like, they're letting me be more feminine and vulnerable because when you grow up being the oldest and like I had to take care of my brother a lot and I was very, I went through a lot as a kid. So like I was very like strong and like you can't, like, I was in sports and I was around guys all the time, so I'm like, you can't cry and like you can't be soft, and like I think as a defense mechanism that masculinity kind of showed out, and now I'm letting myself kind of be more into my femininity. I'm like, oh, I do want to cry right now. I'm like, oh, this is so uncomfortable. Like they kind of force me to like, come here, give me a hug. I'm like, don't do that. Like, but they kind of force it on me, and it's helped a lot. I can kind of hear it in my music. The way some of my music started, it's very like about my ex and sad, and then there's more like upbeat stuff. Like Gumbo was I was feeling myself obviously when I made Gumbo, but now I'm starting to like get more into like who I am, and I'm trying more things with music, and so I feel like a year from now, especially because I'm in the works of trying to get a band together and doing all that. I feel like a year from now, I'm really going to have my sound, because I'm really starting to figure out like who I am and what I want to sound like. And I feel like artists like will always experiment with different sounds, because that's just part of art, is doing that. But I'm starting to find more of who I am in that sound. Because like when you think of like your favorite artist, like let's say a Kendrick, right? He can rap on any style, but you know who he is when you hear him, because you know what I mean? Like there's always that thing that people know you for. And it's like once you get really comfortable with just being like, okay, who am I and what do I sound like? And then just taking that and including it in other things. That's where I'm at now in my process, is trying to do that with my music.
Yeah, a lot of artists don't really like figure that out until like a little later. You're
Yeah,
figuring that
so
out pretty
I mean,
early. Yeah.
I was like, I am figuring that out pretty early, but I had all these traumatic things happen over the past like year, like so close that it was like.
And you've lived life.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So you have enough life
I've been
experience.
through a lot in my life, so.
Yeah.
But I feel like I hold it pretty well. I don't. I used to be. You don't think you're bitter about things until like it's brought up in a situation where you're like, I didn't know I was bitter about that. There's a lot of hard to swallow pills. Like growth within yourself is a lot of like, oh yeah, maybe that wasn't great of me, or like, yeah, you're always going to be the demon in someone's story. You're never going to be like perfect to everybody. So like accepting my flaws and being like, okay, well, how can I grow from that? Or it's a fucking it's tiring. It's a process. But like I think I do have a little bit of an advantage, because I feel like going into this now, where had I had kept going in 2020 and there was no COVID, I think I would have gotten pushed into things maybe before I was ready. So I really feel like I'm spiritual, I'm not religious, but like God, whoever, like really was like, we're going to slow it down, because I really want you to work on you before you get pushed into all of this. Because now things are up and running and I'm starting to get shows again. And I have a show on the 23rd, a shameless plug, for the Jam at the Space LV. And it's going to be my first time back at the Jam. And it's so exciting to see like all the people, and now have this like different presence in myself. Like I've always been confident on stage, but now I'm confident a little bit more off stage too, which is like the battle.
Yeah.
Is like joining those two.
Yeah.
So.
It's gonna be fun. It should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where things are going. I really do think like great things are coming for me and the people I know in this city, like soon. Like I think sooner than we think.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know if I'm 100% ready. I'm just along for the ride. I'm like, fuck it.
Yeah, and that's all you can be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jam.